So, you and some buddies made a film. It looks great, but your sound just doesn't cut the mustard. Maybe your sound recorders fell asleep. Maybe a plane flew over during the best take of your emotional climax. Or maybe you're just simply not happy with the way your on-set dialogue sounds. Well, you don't need to start filling out your form for an events management degree just yet. There is something you can do to bring your project back from the dead and make it the genre-defining masterpiece that you know it can be. Automated dialogue replacement, or ADR, is the process of re-recording an actor's dialogue in post-production. This usually takes place in the studio, but any quiet space will do really, as long as there's as little reverberation as possible, which means you don't hear an echo coming back to your ears when you speak. When it comes to your technical setup, it's best to try and use the same microphone that was used on set, which was probably a cardioid shotgun microphone of some description. Using the same or at least a similar microphone is important if you want your dialogue to sound authentic and fit in with the rest of your film. And matching polar patterns is a good way to ensure that you're recording dialogue in a similar way to how it would have been on set. You also want to make sure you won't get any feedback into your mic, so unless you're in a recording studio, headphones are a must. You can record straight into your computer if you want to, as this will make syncing up your audio much easier, but make sure you use a mixer that supplies phantom power to your microphone, as most laptop sound cards won't do this. Once you have all of your equipment set up, you've made sure it's working, and you know exactly what you need to re-record, you can bring your actors in. Actors can be fragile creatures sometimes, so making sure they feel comfortable during the recording session should always be your main priority. And the more relaxed and confident they feel, the better the performance they're going to give. Always play back the dialogue section you want to overdub a couple of times for your actor, as this lets them see how they performed on set and gives them a better chance of hitting sync when the record button is pushed. Otherwise you'll end up with something looking like a 90s English to Japanese translation dubbing. When you feel like you and your performer are ready, you can go for a take. It's good to use some kind of on-screen visual cue for your actor to see when they need to start talking, or you can use countdown beeps, but they can sometimes make things a bit confusing if your scene is fast-paced. You'll find it takes a few goes to get the take right, but you'll also find that performance is more important than being in sync with picture, so you can often get away with being fractions of a second out of sync. Plus, you can edit your dialogue later to fit the picture more closely. Try to have your actor replicate the movements in your studio to how they moved on set. If they were sat down during a take, make sure they're sitting down for their ADR. If they were running away from someone in a shot, try to get them to either run on the spot or at least change the way they breathe when they deliver the lines. You might think these techniques are pointless, but you would be surprised how different a person sounds when they are sitting as opposed to standing up. If you take all of these techniques into practice, then after a few rehearsals, you should find your ADR sessions to be a breeze. Oh, and as for the automated part, no one knows why on earth it's called that, but maybe one day we will.